afternoon. I'm feeling a little jealous. Normally, I like to think that I'm the comedian in the room, but I've got three experts with me here. You've heard me talk about the Commonwealth Comedy Tour time and time again, and today I'm lucky to be joined by Chris, Lars, and Lindsay, the three guys that are going to make this tour happen. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right, where do we want to start? Let's start here with Chris. Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself and what people can expect from you specifically at Chance's Casino the night of the tour.
From me, I've been doing stand-up comedy professionally for about 28 years around Australia and around the world. I speak mainly about very Australian things, I guess. I'm your typical Australian male. I talk about sport. I love sport. I talk about all my failed relationships, and I talk about drinking beer.
If that's not translatable everywhere around the world, I don't know what is. I mean, people think Australia, you think giant spiders, the continent that'll kill you, and, of course, beer. So, Chris, thanks so much for joining us. Lars, how about you, man? What can people expect from your show?
Well, I just spend most of the show making fun of my family. I was born in Fort St. John. So anybody who knows any of the Fells, any of the Kellyos, those are my first cousins. Those are people that I grew up with. And people go, wait a minute, Kellyo, I know that name. Yeah, you do. My dad being Dale Kellyo and my mom Valerie Fell. So being born in Fort St. John, and here's a bit of a name drop. Robert Ogilvie was my great-grandfather. So if you attended that school, I probably talk to the family and get you your school fees back. But yeah, I tour Australia for 3 months a year, and I pick my favorite Australian comedians, and I bring them over here on tour. I love taking them to my hometown, and the show last year was just off the hook. It was a really, really great show down at Chance's Casino. So Chris and Lindsay are both incredibly accomplished. Both of those guys, close to 30 years experience, TV profile. Chris Franklin had a hit song that was just massive in Australia. If you have any Australian friends, message them and ask them if they know the song Bloke. If you've ever met anybody and you're friends with them on Facebook, I'll show and say, hey, have you heard the song Bloke? Like B-L-O-K-E, Bloke. And every single one of them will know Chris's song. He's actually he's a real profile, real celebrity in Australia. So this is probably, in my 8 years booking the Commonwealth Comedy Tour, I think this is the best lineup I've ever put together. No disrespect to all the other acts I've had on the tour, but this year's lineup is, it's the best I've ever done. So I'm pretty proud of it.
Lindsay, that's got to be a lot of pressure for you. I mean, not just traveling with someone who is well known in Australia, but now you're also touring with a home kid who's going to start name dropping locals. I mean, how does that make you feel?
I'm not sure who to hug first before I go to bed, to be honest. they're both very important.
Lindsay, tell us a bit about your stand-up. Where does it come from? Where are you hoping to go with this? What are you hoping to include?
Well, it came from 26 years ago. Chris and I started out in the very same competition. And I use a kind of educated child mind to review things that happen in my life and with my family to turn that into comedy on stage. I try and do a bunch of crowd work, but I also like to write stories and short jokes that are sharp and explosive. In this country, I have to talk a heap slower. There's mainly accent, I think. I'm not calling anyone stupid. I wouldn't say that. This slowly, I'd say it much faster.
I'm from the East Coast of Canada, so I feel like we'll be back home talking like this all the time, right? And all of a sudden, Chris, slow down, take it down a little bit. Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. So I understand that problem as well as anybody else. Gentlemen, is there a reason that you could think of that someone should come to see your show rather than anything else? Forget all the new movies that are out. Forget any of the music that's happening around town. You have to come see this show. And I'll just toss this out to, I don't know, Lars. Let's give it to you.
Well, like I said, I've been doing this 21 years. Usually I'm one of the senior comedians on the tour, but with these guys, I'm kind of the rookie.
Chris, he just called you a senior. I take offense to that.
No, he's very accurate. I turned 60.
No. Oh, come on, man. You look like you're 25. Spring chicken.
I drink like I'm 25 too.
Attaboy. I'm sorry, Lars, I cut you off there because you called everybody else senior citizens.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And it's really because I picked them. What I go to the Melbourne Comedy Festival, the Adelaide Fringe Festival. I tour to Perth and Brisbane, and I see somebody who's incredibly funny and fun to be around in the green room. Somebody who's fun to travel. I have picked these people, and if you got anything else, you come down to this one, it will knock your socks off. I guarantee it. And if people came to the show last year, that was a fantastic show. This year, I've upped the game a little with bringing Lindsay Webb in, and I'm pretty proud of it. And I hope to see. Well, I've got enough family in that town in the city of Fort St. John to fill the whole room. So if all my relatives show up,
So what you're saying is get your tickets before Lars's family does, because there won't be room. Gentlemen, before we go, I want to give you one more chance to promote yourselves. Where can people find you? Are you on TikTok? Are you on Instagram? Chris, let's start with you. Where can people find you and your stand-up?
As Lars pointed out, I'm the senior citizen. You can find me on MySpace, but there's only me and Tom there now.
So, like, what was it? Your 4 best friends? It's you, Tom, then Tom again. That's it.
That's it. I am on Facebook at Chris Franklin. I am on Instagram at Chris Bloke Franklin, and I'm on Twitter at Bloke Franklin.
Lars, how about yourself? I mean, besides living in your parents' basement, where can people find you?
Extra Lars with an E on it. I don't know why the younger generation seems to cut the E off. So EXTRALARS on all your social media, Extra Lars. And I follow everybody back. So if you're listening to this, go to Extra Lars on Instagram, follow me. I'll follow you back, and then you can unfollow me, and you'll get a follower.
Lindsay, your last call, my friend. Where can people find you online?
All over the place. Lindsay Webb Comedian at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, just everywhere. If you can do it, yeah, I'm all over it. I don't know how you say it in French, but I'm extremely. That's why you should come along.
Oh, there you go. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. If you want to get your tickets, head to chancesfsj.com or just straight up walk into Chances Casino. I guarantee they'd be able to help you there. 3 gentlemen, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure, and can't wait to see you guys on stage. It's going to be a hoot and a half.
Thanks, man.